Hello, everyone. First, I would like to wish you all a very happy and blessed Easter. Today, I would like to talk to you about Jesus and the napkin. In the Gospel of John, during the early morning hours after the resurrection, we read that Mary Magdalene has gone to Jesus' tomb to anoint his body, but finds that the stone has been rolled away and the tomb is empty. She runs back to Peter and John and tells them that someone has taken the body of Jesus away and she has no idea where it is. Peter and John run off to the tomb to see what has happened. John arrives there first, but waits for Peter before entering. They see that the tomb is indeed empty and find the burial cloths are lying in a pile in one place, and the cloth that covered Jesus' head is rolled up neatly in another. Now, this burial cloth that covered Jesus' head is referred to as a napkin in some translations and a linen cloth in others. I never gave much thought as to why the cloth was folded, but recently came across a very interesting interpretation of this verse that really caught my attention. During this time period, when the master of a home had a meal, his servants would wait out of sight while their master ate. If the master rose from the table, crumbled up his napkin and tossed it on the table and left, this signified to the servants that he was finished eating and they should come and clear the table. However, if the master neatly rolled the napkin, placed it on the table and left, this meant that he was not finished with his meal and would return. So when Jesus rose from the dead and left his face cloth, or some translations read napkin, neatly rolled in the corner of his tomb, this was his way of letting his disciples and ultimately the world know his work was not finished, that he would be back for his triumphant return, back for the last judgment. The Christians during this time expected Jesus' return to be imminent, that it would happen at any moment. There wasn't a single Christian who didn't believe this. So you can imagine how they must have lived their lives waiting for his return. Everything they did was focused on Jesus' second coming. And I think it's safe to assume that over time, when Jesus had not yet made his return, that some became less diligent in their behavior. Some may have even become disillusioned and sadly may have completely lost their faith. So I guess the question I'd like to ask is, if we were certain that Jesus' return was imminent, how would our lives change? What will we do differently? Or would there be any change at all? I think for me, most of my day-to-day dealings and concerns will become, at best, an afterthought. Truth be told, though, we have no idea when Jesus will return. Some of us may actually live to see the second coming. Some may not. But this doesn't really matter, because when all is said and done, when it is our time, when our life on this earth is over, it is then that our final judgment has come upon us. And at that point, there is nothing we can do to change it. So I guess the best we can do is try to treat every single day as though it were our last. I know this is a cliche, but it really is a cliche worth living. And one more thing. Every time you see a napkin neatly rolled up, let it serve as a reminder that Jesus will indeed be back, and we must be ready. Thank you all for listening. Again, a happy and blessed Easter to all, and rejoice in knowing he has risen and he will return.